Chrome. No drowsiness, no risk of drug interactions, very safe. It's been a very good year.
Nasal Chrome. Safe relief just where you need it.
The current Powerball jackpot is $21 million. Powerball, Oregon's multi-million-dollar lottery game. Could you be the next big winner?
Dr. Phil, Stevie Nicks, and At Home with Regis, next DT.
Sell, sell, seller. Investors dump stocks, causing a triple-digit dive as thousands more workers join unemployment lines. Nowhere has the slowdown hit as hard as in a town that makes easy chairs. Bush and the elderly. The president takes fire on a drug discount plan and nursing home regulations. And Eye on America investigates defective locks that could turn minivans into traps.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. The economic dreading is spreading around the world. Overseas financial markets today followed Wall Street's lead, heading south. Japan reported it is on the brink of recession. And the U.S. Labor Department says new job losses have pushed unemployment to a four-year high, just under 5%. President Bush went before television cameras to assure the public he's on the case. But that did not stop a further slide in stocks. The Dow plunged nearly 235 points today. The Nasdaq fell almost 18. CBS's Anthony Mason is on the market watch.
The new job numbers dealt another body blow to the economy and to the hope a recovery is close.
It gave it a shot in the solar plexus, and that theory's doubled over right now.
113,000 jobs vanished in August, far more than forecast.
Well, today's employment report was just much worse than anyone expected.
Said Merrill Lynch's Bruce Steinberg, any way you look at the job numbers,
they're just lousy.
As unemployment leapt from 4.5 to 4.9% in 1 month, some economists saw a message.
The message is that the economy is a lot worse than a lot of people were led to believe, I think.
Again, the biggest job cuts, 141,000, came in the manufacturing sector. 1 million factory jobs have now been lost in the past 13 months.
That, I think, is a pretty worrisome picture.
The market didn't like it either. The Dow plummeted nearly 235 points, its fifth triple-digit drop in the past 2 weeks.
The market is a human creation. It has certain human characteristics. And this market's been ill for a little while. It's been running a fever.
And investors have been running away. In the past week, they pulled more than $10 billion out of stock mutual funds. A new CBS News poll found 77% of Americans now view stock investments as risky, up from 67% last year. Today, the president said he was worried.
I want the American people to know we're deeply concerned about the unemployment rates, and we intend to do something about it.
The big question is, what will consumers do? Will continuing job cuts further erode their confidence? So far, consumer spending has been the only thing keeping the economy above water.
But you can't have the job market deteriorate like this and expect consumers to keep it up.
But by many forecasts, unemployment will soon pass 5% and keep going. The only good news economists could take from this jobs report is that another rate cut by the Fed in October is now a foregone conclusion. Dan?
Anthony Mason, thanks. It should be noted that unemployment at 4.9% is still relatively low by historical standards. But in some parts of the country, the rate is much higher. For example, it's more than 7% in Hickory, North Carolina. CBS's Mark Strassman tells us why.
With flair and humor, oversized chairs decorate Hickory, North Carolina, America's furniture-making capital, and proud of it. But suddenly, it's as though this entire community was sitting on this one, the hot seat. Nowhere in America has the boom gone bust more quickly than in Hickory.
A year ago, you couldn't find employees. This year, you can't find employers. So it's shocking that could happen in such a short period of time.
In 1 year, this four-county area's unemployment rate surged 4.5 points. 3,000 manufacturing jobs gone in Hickory's big three: furniture, textiles, and fiber optics.
What you get is, no, we're not hiring, or we don't take applications. Most of them won't even take an application.
Back in March, Ridgeview Mills, a local sock factory, went under. 450 people lost jobs. David Barringer was the operations manager here. He's still jobless 6 months later.
You said you've applied at how many places?
75 local.
And regionally?
850.
And nothing?
Nothing.
A year ago, this community was turning away new employers. Hard times in Hickory soon may mean a hard sell for Hickory.
You have the ability to tell people that you've got 10,000 people in the region that are now unemployed, that have good work experience.
Hickory's chairs now seem less of an invitation to relax and more of a reminder of the work that went into it and then went away.
Hickory's downturn was sudden and is getting worse. Its recovery, when it comes, will be much slower. And experts say some of those lost manufacturing jobs are never coming back. Dan?
Mark Strassman in Hickory, North Carolina. Now to the other side of the world, and the world's second biggest economy, Japan, reported today its economy shrank in the second quarter. If not for a minuscule gain in the first quarter, the Japanese would already officially be in a recession. Many are in extreme depression. Japan's economy-related suicide rate is soaring, as CBS's Barry Peterson found on assignment in Tokyo.
Of all the economic indicators, jobs being cut, a slumping stock market, the grimmest measure of Japan's misery index is one number that's going up, way up. The bell tolls for death by suicide. Suicide in this samurai culture is still accepted as an honorable way of atoning for failure. But this national norm is now a virtual epidemic. It's hitting hardest those who gave the most. Men now in their 50s and 60s who willingly devoted themselves to company above family or children. They sacrificed all building Japan Inc. Now, they are the first to be fired. I think about my debts all the time, says this man. I don't deserve to live. It's better to die.
There's so much stigma on mental illness that people are not talking about that.
Dr. Tia Powell is an American-trained psychiatrist practicing in Japan, where men are taught not to seek help for depression or despair.
What is more praised in Japan is to tolerate suffering. What makes a man, what makes a strong man, is to take it.
So only a rare few call suicide hotlines for help. They tell us, says this counselor, they feel useless. And help that Americans take for granted is not at hand. Japan protects its markets by keeping many American drugs out. That means that Zoloft and Prozac, two of the most popular medicines for treating depression, are not available here. So people turn to the one relief they can get and least need, alcohol.
So if somebody is at risk for suicide and you get them good and drunk, well, then you're going to impair their judgment and make them much more likely to finally make that stupid decision to kill themselves.
By all indications, Japan's economic woes will get worse. More layoffs, more bankruptcies. And more Japanese may decide that their only sanctuary is suicide. On assignment in Tokyo, I'm Barry Peterson.
Tomorrow is the 50th anniversary of the security treaty that established the United States and Japan as allies after World War II. Secretary of State Colin Powell and Japan's foreign minister will attend ceremonies in San Francisco. And a Japanese newspaper says the foreign minister will, for the first time, apologize for the suffering of American POWs during World War II. In this country, rollbacks on two Bush administration ideas affecting the health care of millions of older Americans. As CBS's John Roberts reports, in one case, it allegedly was a draft proposal that White House officials quickly disavowed. In the other, it was a reversal ordered by a court.
Not 2 months after he unveiled it, the president's prescription drug card was shredded by a federal judge who ruled the White House overstepped its authority.
The seniors needed it, and we wanted to give it to them. And we're saddened by the fact that the court now has said that we didn't have the statutory rights to do that.
The president had meant to get the jump on Congress, which still hadn't moved on a prescription drug bill, offering seniors moderate discounts on drugs at selected pharmacies. But chain drugstores who claimed they would suffer economic hardship from the program went to court to block it.
Community pharmacies have a very, very slim profit margin. They operate on a 1% to 2% profit margin. Asking community pharmacies to bear the burden of a discount is just not fair.
Now the White House has three choices: drop the idea, appeal the ruling, or seek authority from Congress. but there's not much chance they'll get that.
I've never been impressed with that plan as being anything substantial or very meaningful.
But the worst headache for the White House today came in this just leaked 2-month-old report drafted by the Department of Health and Human Services. It spells out options the administration was considering to reduce federal inspection of some nursing homes and ease sanctions against homes where patients were actually harmed. After the report was leaked to the New York Times, officials rushed to say the recommendations were rejected weeks ago.
Any options dealing with any changes in the nursing home procedures that could lead to less inspections were rejected out of hand.
The White House did say today that it will soon issue new rules regarding nursing home care and safety and pledged there will be no attempt to roll back either inspections or enforcement. Dan?
John Roberts. A history-making day in sports, and here's a tip. The winner of tomorrow night's U.S. Open women's tennis final will be named Williams. It's a sure thing since defending champion Venus Williams beat Jennifer Capriati in straight sets in one of today's semifinal matches. And in the other, her sister Serena made equally short work of top seed Martina Hingis. They'll be the first American sisters and the first African Americans ever to play each other for a major tennis championship. Coming up next here on the Friday CBS Evening News, Eye on America investigates minivans that could trap children inside.
Abner, we're rich.
We're rich?
It's our new litter. It's got diamonds in it.
Woohoo! Diamonds! What's a diamond?
A diamond is a very valuable...
You are mistaken, my friends. The diamonds are crystals in new Tidy Cats Crystals blend. The clay traps moisture, the crystals eliminate odor, and that is the only reason I agreed to live here with the likes of you.
Whatever.
New Tidy Cats Crystals blend.
I still think they're diamonds.
When I'm away, my mother's in charge.
Ooh, look at Grandma!
I know my kids will eat their vegetables.
Who wants more chocolate?
After dinner, she'll make them rinse the really dirty dishes.
Bingo!
They'll put everything in the right place because Mom loves everything shiny.
Cascade works two ways. First, it removes tough stuff. Then, its pure rinse formula leaves a better shine than the leading competitor.
Like mother, like daughter.
Grandma, let's go!
Also in powder and gel.
Being first is never easy. Will I make it? Will I be laughed at? Will it be worth it?
Did you know your Aleve works on headaches, too? When my wife got bad headaches, the pain relievers she tried, they'd work for a while, then quit. So she'd have to take more. I had some Aleve for my arthritis pain, so she tried it. Now she's got her life back, and I've got her back.
Just 2 Aleve can stop pain all day. It would take 8 Tylenol to do that.
Thanks, Aleve, for making such a difference.
And for all-day sinus relief with the strength of Aleve, try Aleve Cold and Sinus.
Thursday nights are chilly nights at Ladder Company 55. And when it's Wachowski's turn, it's a 5-alarmer. That means heartburn. And gas. These don't have the medicine to relieve both, but now there's new Gas X with Maalox, combining the proven heartburn relief of Maalox with the most powerful gas-fighting medicine around to relieve heartburn and gas fast. New Gas X with Maalox beats the burn and the bloat fast.
Tonight's Eye on America investigates a safety problem in some minivans. Door locks designed to protect you could instead put you and your children in danger. CBS station KTVT in Dallas-Fort Worth and Maureen Marr of CBS News have been gathering the facts on this open and shut.
Can I do this one?
No.
Like many busy mothers, Veronica Pena spends a lot of time in her minivan, hauling the kids around. But Pena is concerned this convenient way to keep up with life may instead be a death trap.
They just did it. Yeah, they just locked right now.
The power door locks on her 1996 Mercury Villager regularly lock and unlock on their own. Recently, Pena jumped out of her Villager to rearrange an item obstructing her view out the back window. With the engine running, the doors locked, trapping her 2 little girls inside. Pena panicked.
Who am I going to call? Nobody's at home. My husband's way on the other side of town. He's not going to be able to come get me.
Mercury's parent company, Ford Motor, tells CBS News the issue described is not common and that dealers know how to repair the vehicles. But Pena has already had the locks fixed once. CBS News has learned dozens of drivers have complained the door locks on 1993 to 1999 Mercury Villagers are demon-possessed, a nightmare, claiming the lock fights back when trying to open manually. Some passengers have been trapped in the vehicle in 100-degree temperatures. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration investigated but concluded windows can be opened if the door locks stick, allowing an occupant to escape. That's assuming the passenger is capable of opening the window. Most minivan buyers are families with small children who legally must be strapped into a car seat.
What's it going to take somebody to die from not being able to get out of the car?
Ken Hevron owns a 1993 Nissan Quest. Same vehicle as the Mercury Villager under a different brand name, but the same problem.
If there were an emergency where you needed to get out of the car quickly, it could be disaster.
Like Ford, Nissan says only a small number of Quest owners have experienced a problem with the locks. Clarence Ditlow from the Center for Auto Safety says Ford and Nissan are missing the point.
They're waiting for that first child, that first person to die from this power door lock before they do what they should have done years ago, which is order a safety recall.
But that costs money, and Ford is already feeling multi-million-dollar losses from the Ford Explorer Firestone tire fiasco and faulty ignition lawsuits.
I think they are a major company trying to save their tushes.
Ford has fixed Veronica Pena's van for free again. Nissan is only willing to split the cost with Ken Hevron. Both agree, though, no price is too high to protect a family. In Dallas, I'm Maureen Maher for Eye on America.
Federal indictments were unsealed today in a police corruption case in Miami. 13 current and former Miami police officers are now charged with planting weapons at crime scenes to cover up shootings and killings of 3 unarmed suspects by other police officers. In one case, police fired more than 100 shots inside an apartment and killed a 73-year-old man.
When I started having hot flashes and night sweats at menopause, my doctor recommended hormone replacement therapy, but I didn't listen.
Up to 20% of a woman's expected lifetime bone loss occurs in the years following menopause.
A year later, I went back to my doctor and found I'd shrunk an inch. I went on HRT, and I've been on it for years. My hot flashes and night sweats, gone. I feel great.
HRT is not for all women. Talk to your doctor about the benefits and risks.
The time to protect your future is now.
Presenting the best holding C-Bond ever. New C-Bond, a unique comfort thin seal with 3 powerful adhesives. The best holding C-Bond ever.
Life is like a sport. The impact of each step impacts more than just your feet. But new Stride Guard insoles absorb 50% more heel impact than these Dr. Scholl's. Take more impact in stride. New Stride Guard insoles.
Hi, how can I? Yes, I'd like a set of Michelin cross-terrain SUV tires with white lettering, please.
Now at Sears Auto Center, all Michelin tires are on sale. Sears, where else?
He's at the 10, the 5, fumble!
Get your hands on new Game Day Cheez-It crackers. Football shapes for football fans.
The Heartburn Hotel. If you suffer persistent heartburn 2 days a week or more, despite diet change and treatment, it may be acid reflux disease. Prescription Prevacid can mean 24-hour relief from acid reflux disease. Prevacid turns off tiny pumps that produce acid. It has a low occurrence of side effects, such as diarrhea, abdominal pain, and nausea. Ask your doctor if Prevacid is right for you.
So leave your heartburn behind!
9 Lives introduces something completely new. What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa!
what's new? I hope she knows.
Look, Morris, it's new 9 Lives Gourmet Meals.
Pussycat, I love you. And new 9 Lives shows you do.
Introducing new 9 Lives Gourmet Meals. More gourmet meat for more gourmet taste.
Pussycat, I love you. They all love me.
New 9 Lives Gourmet Meals. More gourmet meat for more gourmet taste.
For cool cats like moi.
The World Racism Conference in South Africa was scheduled to end today, but debate will go on tomorrow over 2 issues. African nations want reparations from countries that took part in the slave trade, and Muslim countries want Israel declared racist for its treatment of the Palestinians. The United States and Israel quit the conference over that demand earlier this week. Negotiations in Nigeria today concluded with a deal aimed at ending Zimbabwe's violent land reform crisis. The Zimbabwe government agreed to evict black squatters who have staged often violent attacks on many white-owned farms. In exchange, Britain and other countries agreed to compensate whites for appropriated lands. The U.S. Navy is still working to recover the bodies of as many as 7 people from a Japanese fishing trawler sunk accidentally in February off Hawaii by a U.S. nuclear submarine. Despite repeated setbacks, a Navy spokesman expressed confidence today that the hulk of the trawler can be dragged to shallower water where divers can safely reach any remains inside. And British schoolchildren jumped at the chance to help scientists create an artificial earthquake today. Thousands of schools let students out of class, and at a set time, they all started jumping. Scientists estimate they produced the same energy as a small atom bomb or a magnitude 3 earthquake. There may be a break today in the case of Jimmy Hoffa, the Teamsters union leader who vanished in 1975. The Detroit News reports DNA tests show hair found in a car driven by Hoffa's old friend Chucky O'Brien on the day of the disappearance belongs to Hoffa. At the time, O'Brien said Hoffa was never in that car.
Out here, I'm in command. So am I supposed to say, slow down, guys, I'm constipated? I don't think so. You try to eat right. Sometimes you can't. Harsh chemical laxatives, they can kick in whenever and wherever. Not an option. So I rely on doctor-recommended Metamucil. It's got 100% natural fiber. Works with my body, gently, which is important to a sensitive guy like myself.
Metamucil, the doctor's natural choice for regularity.
There's something warm and fragrant about scented oils, which is what makes Glade Plug-in Scented Oils so special. It's a home fragrance that taps into the precious qualities of oil. And now it works in any outlet and leaves one outlet free for 60 days of pure, rich freshness. Plug into Glade Scented Oil.
Plug it in.
S.C. Johnson, a family company.
Think he's gonna make it?
No way. These guys are good. Yeah.
Yeah.
At Sears Auto Center, we guarantee fast expert service. And now, if we don't install your tires in less than an hour, you get a $20 Sears gift card. Sears, where else?
Why are you so happy? You just lost 20 bucks.
I'm every man.
And every woman who ever suffered from frequent, persistent heartburn.
If you've treated your heartburn and changed your diet, but the pain comes back 2 or more days a week, then you may think you know about acid reflux disease.
But there's something about acid reflux that I didn't know.
Over time, that acid churning up can wear away the lining of your esophagus.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I didn't.
Now the makers of Prilosec introduce their new purple pill, Nexium. Just 1 prescription Nexium a day gives many people complete resolution of heartburn symptoms.
That could mean complete heartburn relief.
And Nexium is also proven to heal erosions in the esophagus caused by acid reflux. Only a doctor can determine if you have this damage. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. The most common side effects of Nexium and Prilosec are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. So talk to your doctor and call this number for more information and for a free trial certificate for Nexium.
Relieve the heartburn, heal the damage. It's possible with the new purple pill called Nexium.
If child drug abuse is still a concern, why are Beaverton police dumping the DARE program?
Point 6 News at 6.
We close this Friday with a story about some of the things that make life worth living, like faith and loyalty and the spiritual wealth of true friendship. Steve Hartman found all that and proved again that everybody has a story.
For once, we begin with a skyline that isn't just silos and a phone book that's actually thicker than the IHOP breakfast menu. But even here, in this East Coast metropolis, I found a simple Bible belt of a story.
Reverend Joe, last name is Denson.
I'm conservative in lifestyle. I'm conservative financially. I'm conservative in Christianity.
Yet you voted for Gore.
No, I didn't.
69-year-old Joe Denson
No way.
is a good-humored Baptist preacher. Says he got his calling in 10th grade.
I didn't want to do anything else. Never have.
Joe graduated from Wake Forest with a degree in religion, got married to his wife Edith, and together they now live happily in this modest home.
How many you want?
A generous fellow, he wasted no time in offering me one of his patented mayonnaise, margarine, banana,
You like that?
cinnamon sandwiches.
I hope I have more converts to the Lord than I do to the sandwich. Help yourself.
I'll tell you what it tasted like in a minute. But first, Joe's story.
Might be a little hot now.
For 25 years, Joe Denson has been the pastor at the Southview Baptist Church. In most ways, it's like any other church.
But there is one aspect of his ministry that sets Pastor Joe apart from just about every other Baptist preacher in the state of North Carolina. And although this is a subject we would never broach on any other story, I felt to really get to know Joe, we had to go there.
If you don't mind me asking, what do they pay you?
Well, I stopped drawing my salary.
He made the decision last year when his tiny church, with its aging congregation, found itself going broke.
Busy day.
Ironically, Joe had thought he was going to retire last year,
That furnace fixed.
but opted for the ultimate pay cut instead.
My biggest problem is just leaving the people without the shepherd. It'll just break me up. God, I just ask.
Over the years, he has married their children and buried their spouses. He has visited them in the hospital, once at 2 in the morning, when a frightened Francis Nobles needed someone to talk to.
It's like family. When something happens to them, I feel it.
And because he has grown so close, Joe's been trying hard to somehow find a young pastor willing to preach to a near-empty room of fixed incomes. Not likely. So Joe stays. And although he makes no salary, Joe is confident that someday, on his last day, he will be a very rich man. Oh, and one other thing.
It's good. I know it's good.
Steve Hartman.
I'm confident.
CBS News.
Les wants one.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
See?
And that's part of our world tonight. There's much more CBS News ahead, beginning with a Friday edition of 48 Hours.
It was the perfect family, or was it? What really happened to baby Stockton? Follow the clues in A Mother Accused, a 48 Hours mystery tonight.
To explain why he accuses Henry Kissinger of aiding and abetting the assassination of his father, the victim's son, talks to 60 Minutes, Sunday.
And don't forget the CBS News program Sunday morning and Face the Nation, both Sunday morning. And we invite you to join us Monday for the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting. Back soon with 48 Hours.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the internet and on our interactive partner, America Online, at keyword CBS News.
Now, lots of sunshine.